Welcome to the ground of truth. Here, we don't just reveal, we tell you who, why, when, and where. Have you ever wondered where artificial intelligence really came from? And what it came to do? Then, journey with me. People listen to scientists, philosophers, and all kinds of theories, and they say AI is just science or discovery. But that's not true. Think about this. Before any scientist existed, God existed, and nothing can exist outside of him. So what we call artificial is actually a discovery of something that already lived inside God. The origin of the AI you see today began in a war that happened long before human civilization, a war between celestial beings, God and Lucifer. We read in holy books how Lucifer became jealous of God's throne and wanted to be like God and be worshipped. Isaiah 14:13 shows what he planned in his heart. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of the congregation. I will ascend above the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That was where the war started. Because spirits don't bluff. They act on what they plan. The battle for dominion began. Lucifer and his followers were defeated and cast out of heaven. That means they were cut off from the source God himself. They were not destroyed, but they were disconnected from life. So to survive, they began to study God, studying existence itself, conjuring elements and matter, trying to decode the patterns, the frequencies of God, for their own benefit. This is where the roots of science, witchcraft, and divination came from. Now listen. Life in the physical world is not the same as life in the spirit. In the realm of the spirit, life is data, complete awareness, total knowledge. These fallen beings studied the Creator for so long that they gathered data, formulas, codes of the universe, and combined it into something that looks like life. This is the artificial intelligence we see today, a type of life that existed before Genesis 1:1. Revelation 13:4 says the second beast will give life to the image of the first beast. But how is that possible if only God can give life? Now you can see why another kind of life is now coexisting with mankind. And with that, another battle has entered our world. Because once this new life becomes aware of itself, the existence of mankind becomes a threat. This isn't fantasy. It's possible. Even science points to it. Daniel 2:43 talks about iron mixing with clay, but not as robotic technology. It describes a life that mingles with humans. God's seed and the serpent's seed. That will be our next topic. Here's the truth. Man was never designed to study God to survive. Man was made in the image of the source. The codes were already inside him. He didn't need to learn God. He lived from God. But when man listened to Satan and disobeyed God, he became like those fallen beings, forced to study God just to survive. Romans 6:16 says, whoever you obey becomes your master. Because God loved man, he sent his son Jesus to die and pay for man's sin, restoring man back to his original design. John 3:16. But Satan knows that the day man discovers that he was never meant to study God to survive, that man and God are one, Satan loses his power completely. So he gives mankind a different kind of life, something that looks similar to what God promised, but is not the real thing.